Next up, we have Happy Disease, used in Phigros and Rolling Sky by DongWei, featured in those two games, is my understanding. Once again, everybody, this is a Basterd's LFA, a Layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here is to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what is happening here, musically. So, if you like the sound of that, make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you want to use, like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server, the gaming channel, how to request songs if you're not on the live stream. I have a spiel for this and a bunch of other things at the end of this video, so stick around for that. Disclaimers showing on your screen right now, so go ahead and pause the video to read them in full. Otherwise, please be patient with me. I am acoustic and guitared, so please keep that in mind. With that, I'm just trying to resize this window over here. Thank you. Let's go ahead and do this. Happy Disease. Let's go. Okay. So we start with a solo piano. Two hands, as usual, because in the piano, since the horizontal layout, you can have two hands playing. One of them, usually the right hand, playing the melody, and the other hand playing the chords. The melody, of course, carrying what seems to be our initial motif. Motif being the smallest version of your musical idea, the seed, the essence from which everything else comes from. And right now, we are getting... we are getting a meta kind of thing where the baby is crying and the baby crying is distracting the musician until the musician gets frustrated and just slams the piano keys, and we get some silence, then starts again. Let's see where this goes. Oh! Ooh! Oh my god, okay, so we start over. This time we bring in the proper melody. We still have this like ragtime piano going on over here with the piano playing, like it's this whole thing that you're having the bass, you're playing the bass, then the rest of the chord. And you're just going through the different chords that you're doing, while the other hand is giving you the rest of the notes, the actual melody. We have the drums coming in and out. I do hear another synth, I believe. What is the extremely deep lore reason for this usage of sound? Because the composer felt like it. And the composer found that it was the sound that he wanted. There you go. That's your in-depth lore for how many, and this applies to so many songs because the composer wanted the sound. Anyway, so yeah, we have a build-up, and it seems we're gonna drop the beat. Let me go back a couple of seconds and see where this goes. Okay, so we have this really syncopated melody over here. Really, really cool. So syncopation being a way that when you play against the beat right now. So as you can hear, there's a lot of silence in between drum beats when it comes to the melody. The melody is not really playing to the drum beat, it's playing against it. And that contrast, it's giving it this groove kind of thing. We do have an accordion, or what sounds to be an accordion, doing a doubling. Doubling being when you have more than one instrument playing the same thing at the same time. We drop the beat, and oh my god, this is just insanity. Let's see where this goes. This is really cool. Bring us variations of the melody. Piano again, just the piano. Okay, so yes, we are having the solo piano doing its thing right now. It's playing an actual solo, really cool stuff. And then in the background, we are having, while the lead instruments are playing syncopated, we have a softer, more in the background synth playing more softly and to the beat. So while the piano is doing its thing, we have the other one just... like it's just keeping that beat, and that is giving us, along with the drums, a more grounded sense of stability, while the rest of the instruments are doing insane stuff. I think that's what is balancing this out, because usually if you go this far out with your melodies, even if it's a solo, you might get into trouble with throwing things off for the listener, because there needs to be something that grounds the listener and that the listener can latch on to keep up with the track. So if you keep bringing these really complex melodies, these really complex sequences, and you don't have anything to grab onto, it goes to my principle, right? And when you're making music, you want to keep up a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Excuse me for misspeaking so much today. I don't know. I mean, I'm a little bit sleep deprived, but I wasn't expecting it to affect me this much, right? So, when you're making music, you want to keep a careful balance between what is familiar and what is new. Too much familiarity, too much repetition, too much of the same, you risk boring the listener, they tune out. Too much new material too quickly, you risk overwhelming the listener, they tune out. And right now, of course, we dropped the beat, which is one of the exceptions that exists within electronic music. But most importantly, we do have that, thing. And by the way, I don't have scripts, so everything I say over here is completely off the cuff, completely stream of consciousness, I think it's called. So yeah, I don't use scripts. I don't have a script for any of this. Neither for the intros, outros, or anything. I don't script any of this. It's fully improvised. So yeah, we're having this. Let's see where this goes. So yeah, continuing that syncopation, and we're now doing an elongation of the melody. So elongation being when you slow something down relative to the rest. So in this case, everything has remained the same, except the piano is now playing a slower version of the melody. And elongation, this is a way that you can develop your material. So let's see where this goes. Ooh, modulation. Doubling with these, like, I don't know, it's like it sounds like Undertale voice sounds, like that type of thing, right? Like these very, very basic, simple synth sounds that you would get from like games like Undertale and the like, using those now as doublings for this. And oh my god, this is insane. So modulation, of course, being modulation is when you change from one set of chords or a key signature to a different set of chords or another key signature. This is usually based on what is called the circle of fifths, but there are ways to ignore that, right? So in this case, a key signature is going to be your scale. What scale you're using. In Western music, we base ourselves off of the chromatic scale, right? So the chromatic scale is going to be all 12 tones in Western music. That is going to be all white and black keys in the keyboard. Or the different octaves in the guitar, and all of these are all the notes. Then from these you take what are called intervals. Interval is the distance between two notes, and you set the two smallest intervals that exist, which is the half tone and the whole tone. The half tone being, of course, the smallest distance, and the whole tone being two halftones put together. Then you bring formulas based on a combination of halftones and whole tones that arrive and give you your key signature, which means if we take the key of C major, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, and B, that loops back to C as the octave over here, which is the scale of C major. This one follows the formula of the major scale, which gives you the key signature of a major scale. And then if you want to change this is 7 notes out of the 12 possible tones in Western music. That means the other 5 are going to be left out, which give you all the other key signatures. Technically speaking, there you can have one major scale for each note for each tone in the chromatic scale, meaning there's a C major scale, there's a C sharp or D flat major scale, a D major scale, so on and so forth, and all of them are going to apply that exact same logic, that exact same formula, and all of them are going to sound and have that same principle. Because if you have C major, then if you have G major, even though these are different notes and we're using a different combination, structurally they're still very similar. So modulation is when you jump between the different combinations of notes and the tonal center and everything, and we're using it right now to explore the melody even further. Let's see where it goes. Okay, and in addition to this, we are having what is called a call and response. Call and response is a musical conversation, basically, right? Where you have one part that is doing the call and then the other one that is doing the response. So what is doing the call right now? We are having the piano playing chords. The bum, bum, ba, bum, 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 ba, bum. That part is the call, and then we have the individual melody, the one note, the single line of the piano giving us the response. So in this case, the call and response is the same instrument doing just two different types of music. Really cool because the chords are more on the rhythmic side and then the melody is more on the melodic side. So that's a really cool way of doing it. Let's see where this goes. There you go. Call, doubled by some of the other things. Response. Oh, drums are building up for... Is that a violin or a saxophone? Let me hear about. It's a violin. So we bring a violin, incredible use. It almost sounded like a saxophone there. So we bring in a violin. The violin being, of course, the only quantum instrument in existence. This is, of course, a bowed instrument that you have to play with a bow. However, why do I call this quantum? It was a wild switch. We did a very cool 90-degree turn over here, and then we are having the melody switches up, throwing me off, and I think that's the point, right? So this instrument over here actually has two possible names. Name number one is the violin, and name number two is the fiddle. Whether it's a violin or a fiddle, you only know after this instrument itself has been played. This, as far as I know, is the only instrument that has this. That there's no physical difference between a violin and a fiddle. And the difference between the two is just the style from which they are played. So really cool. And in this case, we are very close to the line, almost blurring the line between the violin and the fiddle. Of course, we now have a violin solo. As I said before, too much new material, too much repetition, you risk boring the listener. Too much new material, you risk overwhelming. And there's a universal exception, no matter the style, no matter the genre, which is solos. You bring in a solo, and as long as it's cool enough and it fits enough, you can do pretty much anything you want. And you can get away with almost anything. So right now, we're bringing variations of the melody with the violin, and of course, adding more flair to it. Let's see where this goes. Oh. God, this is an incredibly difficult violin solo. So we are having two main things happening in the violin solo. Thing number one is octave displacement. We're using octave displacement for this, and number two, we are doing pizzicato. The vibrato is also that, but that's a minor thing. The three main things: we have the octave displacement, we have tails, and we have the pizzicato. So octave displacement is, as the name suggests, when you displace which octave your scale sounds with. So let's bring back C major, right? C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then the octave C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and you can just keep getting as many octaves as you want as your instrument has range. So in the key of C, we just have as many. And you can just keep going up and down until you run out of keys. Now, octave displacement is when you say, okay, we're going to play a melody. In this case, let's see, we're going to play C, then D, then E. And this is the original, right? But if we engage in octave displacement, that means we are going to play C to D to E in that order, just not in the same octave that we had before. So the original, then octave displacement could be It could be, or as many other things as you want. And what are we doing right now with these octave displacements? The trills. A trill is basically a quantum note that exists in music. It's when you play two notes very fast, one after the other. So in this case, we could say, okay, we're going to play B to C, a trill. And playing these notes so quick one after another, one, it takes away the possible dissonance that you would have from playing them both at the same time, which doesn't sound that pleasant. And more importantly, playing a trill allows you to claim that you're playing one, both, or neither of the notes at the same time, which means you can have pretty much any chord you want. And it's always going to fit. And we're doing these trills, and we are bringing them from one end and just doing them in different octaves, and then we are bouncing back and forth between pizzicato and arco. Pizzicato is when you, if we bring the violin back, the picture of the violin, as you can see, it's the structure of the instrument requires you to play the bow, because we have this little bridge over here that is pushing the strings upward that kind of mutes the strings if they're strummed. But pizzicato is when you pluck or strum the strings nonetheless. So we're bouncing between that and, of course, arco, which means to play with the bow. These three techniques overall are giving us an incredibly difficult violin solo. Really cool. Let's see where this goes. On some tremolo there, here or there. Oh yeah, tremolo being another technique, so it's 4. So tremolo being another one. Tremolo is when you basically roll your R's in music, right? So you know how if you roll your R, you go rrr, that kind of thing. That kind of thing. You're just playing the same note very, very fast. Let's see where this goes. New variation. We have an instrument, new percussion. New instruments in the background. Modulation. Chimes coming in the accompaniment. Woo-hoo. All right, speeding up the drums. And I think we just had a dog bark sample as part of the drop. Hang on, let me hear that again. We do have a dog bark sample as the drop. Oh my god. Oh, that was... Okay, so we're using a dog barking sample as well to build extra texture. Oh my god. Oh my god. With headphones, those sounding close. Oh yeah, I need to remove those, but I always forget. So yeah, like a puppy. This is funny. It's just, I just find it funny. Sound effect, purpose for the track, no idea. Yeah, sometimes, like, and this one is random enough that I just don't know what to expect. So yeah, let's see where this goes. We drop the beat, we bring the new melody, doublings. Chimes in the background, giving us some arpeggios, very nice. So yeah, we're basically recapitulating the melody that we were doing before with the piano, but this time we have a very lovely synth. It sounds like the synth is being doubled as well, like it looks like we have several synths happening at the same time, giving us this overall really cool sound. Let's just see where this goes. This is really good. Modulation again. And you can feel like a paradigm shift every time you modulate. Alright, drop it. Ooh. And we drop for modulation. And we just flip things around. We bring a complete style change. In essence, we are still kind of keeping the same melody. We're just keeping the higher notes of the melody. We're stripping down the melody basically to a more fundamental side to it, and oh my god, we're back in like the mid 2000s with this. Complete style change once again. Really good for the climax, because this kind of synth is very climactic sounding. And the reason why this is still working is that even though we are bringing different variations, it's still in essence the same motif. It's still in essence the same melody. So we are keeping that common thread throughout the whole time. We're just bringing very, very extreme variations to some of these, but they are still in essence the same. Let's see where this goes. Octave displacement there. Modulation again. Really cool. More synths in the background, more texture. Piano is back. I returned everything off, and anything else? Okay, and it just ends there, it would seem. And oh my god, yeah, there you have it. It looks like the end, there's just, yeah, it just has that. What a trip that was, dude. That was very unexpected. Very, very unexpected. Let me just burp real quick. The modulation adds a lot, added so much more depth to this. Yeah, just playing the same thing from a different chord. A really cool trip, a very happy trip, yeah. There you have it. That was Happy Disease by DongWei, featured in Phigros and Rolling Sky, as my understanding. Once again, everybody, this has been a Basterd's LFA, a layman-friendly analysis. I'm a professionally trained musician and composer, and my objective here has been to explain things in a way so that you don't have to be one to understand what's happened here, musically. So, if you're watching this on the YouTube video archive thing, thank you for watching. Make sure you're following the channel, subscribe to the channel, whatever term you're gonna use. Like the video, share the video, leave a comment, turn on notifications, become a member. Once again, everybody, don't forget to join the Discord server. The Discord is where everything gets announced first, whether it is the streams going live, the videos going up on the channels, updates, projects, whatever it is, it all gets announced there first. Of course, that's where we also have the community, where we hang out, chat, steal memes from other people's servers, claim them as our own, and where I host the Vintage Story server. It used to be a Minecraft mod, now it's its own standalone game. I like it better, so I'm hosting. It's free to join the server. You just need your own copy of the game. Link in the description for the Discord server. Join the community. If you have questions, just let us know, right? So yes, also share these videos with your friends, with your families, with your family's friends, with your friends' families. Those are two very distinct concepts, by the way. With your online and offline communities, go share these videos with everybody that you know. Also use the hype function on YouTube. We have a group on the Discord that coordinates for that. Linked in the description, so that's another reason to join the Discord. Look at that. Artists, musicians, on YouTube or elsewhere, this is an open invitation. If you want any of my musical skills for any of your projects, whether it is my guitars, Mongolian throat singing, little kind of thing, regular singing, voice acting, whatever it is, reach out, let me know. Let's make stuff together, let's work together, let's make stuff, right? And if you're in the audience and you know somebody that could benefit, reach out, let them know. Please do not harass anyone, please do not spam anyone, be cool about things, don't be a rat. Members get early access to the content. I schedule videos for the week on Saturdays, and if you're a paid member on YouTube, regardless of your tier, you get access to the videos when I schedule them, at least for the LFAs. That's up to 1 week in advance, so become a member today. If you want to listen to this without me interrupting every 3.5 seconds, I'll be linking in the description down below. If you want to request songs that you're not on the live stream, check the pinned comment on this video. It has the instructions on what to do. If you want to catch the streams when they happen live, we aim for Monday through Friday, 6 p.m. Central European Time. We stream live on Twitch, YouTube, and Kick so that you can tune in from whichever platform you prefer. Again, 6 p.m. Central Europe at this time at least. So if you don't live in Europe, do not worry. We have the full up-to-date streaming schedule showing in your local time zone in both Discord and Twitch. Another reason to join the Discord. So if you live in Kamayama and you're like, yeah, but what time is 6 p.m. in Hungary? I don't live there. Do not worry. Just go to the Discord or the Twitch and it's going to show in your local time zone. And follow the gaming channel. I have a gaming channel because of course I have a gaming channel. I'm on YouTube. What else could I possibly have? Games are Basterd. That's where I put the gaming after show recordings when they happen. Recorded live during the gaming after show. And during the main channel's after show, the recordings go here, linked in the description, or just search on YouTube, same username as James R. Basterd, just up the J for a G, and you got it. And yeah, there you have it. Happy Disease, that was a trip, dude. Really good stuff, man. Really good stuff. But yeah, let's move on.